What do you call an old woman coming down Route 100 with no window, on the driver's side front and back, sitting on a foot of snow in her front seat, shivering like a frozen bitch with icicles hanging off her face and feeling like she's freezing her ass off, though unfortunately she still has not, just for the record. If you're gonna go through the trouble of freezing your ass off, you should at least be left with a smaller ass in the end. But I digress. For the purpose of transparency, when I refer to my car, it isn't technically my car either. My own car is long gone and standing like a tomb, unrevivable in my friend's driveway. Only because I no longer have a driveway of my own, nor do I have the home that the driveway led to. Being without a home for the second time at 53 years old is not what I was shooting for when I imagined all the places I go, as Dr. Seuss used to say. I don't know exactly how I ended up in this fucked up, ass backwards, purgatory-like existence I've been living in since this nightmare began, but this is what's on the table, so all I can do is the best that I can do, 1 inch at a time. Anything at all ahead is something that's as old as I am in years. I'm still just growing up in so many ways because I was always under the thumb of someone else and trying my best to navigate the wreckage, and I'm wondering how to proceed now, carrying what God has handed me. I've committed no crime in all that I believed to be good and evil in this world, but what turned out to be the worst crime of all in God's eyes was the way I treated myself. That I was not being kinder to myself. For not realizing sooner that what was everyday life to me was also abuse. For always putting myself last and not doing what I needed to do for my own future. These are all of the reasons that God is beating the shit out of me in front of your eyes. I truly believe that. I always thought I had time. I'd be loyal to my loved ones first and make sure I never failed them, and then get to myself and my own dreams after. I believed the best way to love somebody was to love them first without counting myself. I misunderstood. We don't have as much time as we think we do because life is so incredibly short. Just how short it is only seems to hit us for the first time when most of our life is behind us. What I've learned most of all is that loving yourself can't be put off. It's the foundation for everything else in your life. You are not really loving someone in the truest way unless you love yourself. Not caring for yourself has ripple effects that will come back to haunt you and everyone that you love later, and that in itself is a living hell to any mother on earth. If children are involved, if for some reason you can't pick me out on the road with my slow-ass old lady terrified driving style, just look for the nut-blasting country oldies and show tunes with snow on her head. And by the way, the snow on the seat thing wouldn't be such a big deal if the snow or sleet wasn't flying through the missing windows and smacking me in the freaking face. Tragic and yet hilarious. What do you call a success story? Like myself, who has a net worth of 75 cents. Oh wait, I forgot to factor in last month's overdraft fees. I meant, with a net worth of negative $400. What would you even call this anomaly of an old woman? You'd call her Frosty the freaking Snowman.